What a surprise! AGL Paikuhan and Teq Janemba are EZA. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video, and in a surprise twist of events, Dokkan has decided to drop the most random EZAs we've had in quite some time. They are EZAing the 2021 New Year's Paikuhan and Janemba EZAs. So in this video we're going to cover their details and talk a little bit about what this means for the upcoming part 2. So let's go ahead, let's start with Paikuhan, right? Because this is a character, right? I was really excited. Interesting. Okay, so let's start here. Looks like we're getting an update to the leader skill for 170 leads, at least. We'll have to see how that... I mean, 200% didn't really get affected, but he's now 180 for Connected Hope and Superclass 130. I kind of wish they bumped up that Superclass, but that's still pretty good. Alright, so he is now getting attack and defense 200%, high chance of evading enemies' attack. Superclass allies, key 2, and attack and defense 30%. And for 7 turns from his entry turn, he has 200% defense and guaranteed guard. With 3 or more type key spheres obtained, he gives Otherworld Warriors or Connected Hope category allies 30% attack and defense, and launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. With 1 or more Rainbow Key Spheres, he's got key 4 and chance of evading enemies' attack 20%, and seals the enemy's attack for 2 turns. So he's got a passive seal too here now, so that's nice. And with 12 or more key, he gets attack defense 200%. So this is really interesting because before he had only gotten the dodge with the, and it's a 50% chance to dodge with the Rainbow Key Sphere, but now he's got a 70% chance with 1 Rainbow Key Sphere, so that's nice. It's kind of strange that they shifted the Rainbow Key Sphere to 20 and gave him a default 50, but I mean, it's better, right? Because now he just has the 50 whenever, so that's actually kind of good in cases where you can't get the Rainbow Key Spheres, but that is pretty good. And it does look like with his 3 or more type key spheres obtained, right, he's giving 30% to Connected Hope or Otherworld Warriors, so that's actually 60% support for those characters if they happen to be super class as well. So this is actually really, really nice. I kind of like what they did with him here. Now remember, Paikuhan does have a unit super with Angel Goku or Vegeta. His base attack is greatly raising attack and defense for turn, causing immense damage to the enemy, and greatly lowering attack. Always a powerful combo. And that unit super can be activated with there's an Angel Goku or Angel Vegeta. And let's see what it does here. If we take a look here, it is greatly raising attack and defense for the turn, causing immense damage, effective against all types, and greatly lowers attack. So that's interesting that they threw the effective against all types on there for the super attack effect. That's interesting. So, I mean, as long as you're running Goku and Vegeta type units, right, you don't need crit on him, which is nice. Which, I mean, looking at his passive, he's not going to be a whole big attacker anyways. He's definitely floating support type material, and that's okay. Right, as a dodge unit, which is he's primarily going to be doing. That's pretty nice. Plus the 2-turn seal as on his passive. Right, normally passive seals are singular turn, but a 2-turn seal on his passive effect is actually kind of nice because now he can float slot 3 and then seal the next attacking turn. So it's actually incredibly good. Right, for battle-hardened formidable foes, like, this is going to be really, really good, right? He's not stacking attacks, so he's not going to be, you know, Festival of Battles material, but, I mean, I would have expected him to not suddenly become a stacker, having not been one before, so that's no surprise there. But, yeah, as a support-type unit, he's looking really good. I mean, he was even good up into the Kid Buu meta. There were some interesting strategies you could pull off with even him still on the team. As old as he was, so now that he's relevant again, I'm excited. So let's hop in, let's take a look at Janemba, right? Because, I mean, LR Janemba has been needing a partner, same with Int Janemba, and I think we got it. So let's take a look here. So Corroded Body and Mind, 180%, Extreme Class 130%, as expected. Attack and Defense 180%, guards all attacks, damage reduction rate 50%, and Extreme Allies 30%. Very, very nice. All right, so he's got that base support, which is helpful. So 50% damage reduction and guard. That's already going to make him an insane defensive unit. Very little's going to be able to touch him, right? That is a huge combo with 50% DR and guard. And that's just at all times, right? There's no turn limit on that. With 3 or more type key spheres obtained, an additional 30% for uncontrollable. I like that they gave it to uncontrollable power because he is a great unit on Broly's team, which is still relevant, especially in like battle hardened formidable foes, right? He would be very good to help there. Okay, I like that. Corroded Body and Mind and uncontrollable power 30%. He's got an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super attack. So that's 3 or more type keys for obtain. With 1 rainbow key sphere obtain, an additional 30% damage. That means he's got 80% damage reduction and guard. Holy crap! This dude is a wall. I love it. It's perfect. Oh, that's great. And then he gets an additional defense 150%. Oh, that's good. That means you could actually leave Fizz Janemba in slot 2 and keep this guy in slot 1. That's actually good. Because Fizz Janemba is still good. Oh, that's good. Okay, for every attack received, he's got an additional attack 20% up to 100% and damage reduction rate 5. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. That's how they trick you. Okay, got it. Okay, so he loses 5% damage reduction every time he receives an attack. So he can lose down to 50%. So that means as long as you're picking up the type key spheres, he's still going to have 30% and guard. So, I mean, that's still not bad. That's still pretty good. Okay, very nice. I'll take that. Okay. Alright, and let's see. Super attack effects, stacking attack, alright, and raises defense for the turn, causing him as damage to the enemy. Interesting. Okay, so they did choose to give him attack. I wonder, like the Goku and Gohan, if he could last in festival battles with the attack. It's possible. But as we learned with Goku and Gohan, the defense, if the defense is not there, I don't think guard, just because of how hard those supers are, I don't know that guard and 30% is going to be enough for him. It wasn't enough for Gohan, so we'll have to see. Alright, let's see here. So, what about his transform state? Here we go. Let's take a look at his transform state here. So, transform state, he is... attack and defense 200%, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to any one type of key sphere. So that's interesting. Alright, changes key spheres, AGL to rainbow, guards all attack, and high chance of evading enemy's attack. With 3 more type key spheres obtained, attack and defense 100%, and launches an additional super attack. And with 1 or more rainbow key sphere, 30% additional chance of evasion, so he gets 70% chance to evade. Right, because he was a dodge character before. Before receiving an attack, he has an additional damage reduction 30%. So... I mean, I guess that would help guard and 30% damage reduction. That could help him slot 1 in case he misses that 70% chance to dodge, right? It would just be, I mean, it's not something I would rely on, given that he doesn't have any way to build defense in his base form. So it just means you're not going to die unless they super you and you don't dodge it. And after evading an attack, he performs a critical hit temporarily upon the next attacking turn. So I like that it's upon the next attacking turn. So that means if he's in slot 2 and he dodges, he can still get the guaranteed crit next turn. And then when attacking with 12 or more key, he's got attack and defense 250%. On his super attack effects, does look like he is greatly raising attack and defense for a single turn. And I assume the transformation conditions are the same, right? Because they don't typically change. So, all right, looking pretty good. I mean, I mean, this was the case before, but I feel like So it does seem like this is going to be a lot more offensive, his transform state, but like before, his defensive state, his base form is probably going to be the more useful and more reliable form that you're going to see most often. In fact, you might rarely transform him unless it's like, hey, this is the final turn, let's kill the boss here. That's kind of what I'm seeing. But looking at the calcs so far, so I don't think Halvard has posted the calcs, but I mean, we're looking at some pretty good stuff. Like under Int Broly's domain, like this dude's max passive is gonna get him something like over 3 mil defense with 80% damage reduction and guard. So that's actually gonna be pretty good, right? Over with, you know, well, it won't be 80% forever, but you know, up to down to 30% plus guard is still going to be pretty good with 3 million defense. That's going to tank most things, but it'll tank every red zone for sure. So honestly, really, really good. I do like how they handled these EZAs, and I am excited because not only are we getting these, Dokkan finally remembered sub EZAs exist. It's a shame that it took this long, but hey, they're here. So we have the STR Paikuhan EZA, who is actually int on JP, I think. So he's STR types, key 3, HP, attack defense 100%. He gets attack defense 150%. All enemies defense 50% down. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. And for 4 turns from his entry turn, he has a high chance of evading enemy's attack. He gets key 1 and attack defense 20% for every super attack performed, and an additional chance of performing a critical hit and chance of evading enemy's attack 10%, up to 50 for each super attack performed. So he builds up that dodge. That's interesting. When the target enemy is attack or defense down, he gets an additional attack 100%, and before receiving an attack with a turn, he has 50% damage reduction rate. Okay. So he's kind of like a risk-reward type character, because I don't know that his defense is going to be there to slot 1 it, but... And when all allies are Otherworld Warriors or tournament participants, he gets an additional attack defense 100% and transform a critical hit and damage reduction rate. Oh, okay. Well, maybe with 70% damage reduction and evasion. Okay, but that's only if you're all Otherworld Warriors or tournament participants. So, okay, he's definitely... I mean, like most sub-EZAs, he's kind of limited to a team, but will be really... He will be a good option on that team for sure. So, okay, I'm definitely liking this. I'm liking this. Let's check his super attack effects. So, raises attack defense for the turn, greatly lowers attack. Okay, all right, nothing too crazy there. Pretty much expected. Excellent. And then, of course, right, the EZA that we thought they all forgot about. We have the Fizz Super Saiyan Kaioken Goku, right, from the Otherworld tournament. So, let's see what he's got. Fizz types, HP attack defense 100%. He's got attack defense 200% and high chance of evading enemy's attack. Randomly changes int key spheres to another type when receiving an attack. Survives KO. Oh, I like that. That's such a fun and useful ability. Surviving KO attacks. When HP is 80% or more, he gets an additional 100% defense. When HP is 80% or less, he changes Fizz key spheres to STR. When attacking with 12 or more key, he gets... attack and defense 100% and additional attack and defense 50% if HP is 80% or less. With the STR or key spheres obtained, he launches 2 additional super attacks. Oh, nice. And for every STR or Fizz key sphere obtained, he gets attack 40% and transform critical. Okay, so he's also a nuker here. Okay. With AGL Tech or Int, however, he gets guard. So, oh, this is interesting. I like that play. So you can choose to make him more offensive, or you can choose a more balanced and defensive approach and go for AGL Tech or Int, which would give him, not only would it give him guard, but it would also give him a chance of evading enemies' attack 5% and attack and defense 20% per key sphere obtained. So he would be a little less offensive, but combined with the guard and evasion, he could be a pretty decent, you know, he'll survive, especially when you consider he also has that survive KO mechanic. So, you know, I like that there's some play there based on the key spheres available. You can really choose if you want to be more offensive on that turn or more defensive. And I think, I mean, not that this is ever going to really happen, but right, theoretically he can get, with 20 or more key spheres obtained, he would have guaranteed dodge, right? Which, I mean, is not probably unlikely, but at least 5, you know, at least 10 key spheres, and you've got 50% chance, which isn't a lot, but I mean, it's still better than nothing. So could be interesting. We'd have to see him in play, but there's definitely some stuff here that I think could work. His super attack effect is massively raising attack. Oh, wow. Okay, so that offensive play is a big play because he's massively raising attack. It's a 100% raise, and with those key spheres, right, he's going to launch 2 additional super attacks, and that means by the 3rd super attack with a massive raise each one. Oh, this could be good. There could definitely be some play with this guy. Okay, I'm liking what I see here. Okay, excellent. So he looks pretty good. Again, there's sub EZA options. They're not the greatest unit ever, but for sub options, I think that they could slide in really good. I mean, Otherworld Warriors has always been kind of a crazy category that's not very useful. So just having units that can be used, given how many missions we tend to get for this category, this is always a plus in my book. So now I did want to spend some time to talk a little bit about what this means for the part 2. Now, I had done a video yesterday talking about who the part 2 LR could be. And, you know, obviously my hope was for something Android Cell Saga related. And of course, you know, we would hope for like a Vegeta and Trunks type deal. But we did say that was very unlikely. Dokkan tends to go way out of left field. And we assumed based on the categories for the upcoming or now available Inevitable Showdown missions that this would be related to the Universal Survival Saga, given that we had Worthy Rivals and Universal Survival Saga as the two main categories. However, right, and this would have covered someone like, you know, MVP 17, which would be a great addition to SDR Cell's team. It would be very helpful considering he is also an android. However, one thing I certainly did not expect them to go the Otherworld tournament route from the filler arc. So here we are, and this actually does still fit what we were talking about before, right? One of the categories being related to the part 2, and it seems like the part 2 Worthy Rivals. So there's a good chance the part 2 LR is a Paikuhan. Like there's a pretty good chance now that we see who's EZAing. They could do it. It could be like I don't know how they would pull this off given the name convention with these two, right? Well, because this guy is just a regular Paikuhan. They could go Super Paikuhan. They could just call him Super Paikuhan, and that could work. Or he could be a tag unit like Paikuhan. It could be a tag Paikuhan and Kaioken Goku. That could work. Or just a tag Paikuhan. Oh, actually, well, no, it doesn't work if it's from the Janemba movie because it wouldn't be on the Otherworld tournament. Yeah, tag. That's my pitch, right? Tag Paikuhan and Kaioken Goku. So we'll see what happens. We'll know more here in a few days about who the LR could be. It is currently the 7th, so we should be getting within 3 days the details for the next LR. So, guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know what you think on these amazing EZAs. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.